If the truck stopped running, the story is we'd all be out of food in the grocery stores in 3 days. That's what experts say, or someone says. I run a feed business, which is completely dependent on the trucks. The idea is if those trucks stopped, I wanted to say, could I grow oats? Could I grow things that my chickens would eat as well? The whole cycle. So what's become really apparent in this experiment, which is on its 3rd year, is you need animals, and animals need the garden.
If our chickens couldn't eat, what would we do, you know? And those are things that we ask ourselves. If we can't eat, what would we do? Well, we'd eat our chickens, but what if we don't have anything to feed our chickens? So what we have here is a mealworm farm. Most people don't know that mealworms are actually darkling beetles. These are darkling beetles here. Little black beetles. You've probably actually seen them. It's the most common little black beetle in your garden. So on this top tray, I have a bunch of beetles. And so this is the beetle breeding layer. So up here, this is where the beetles have their fun. So down on the bottom of this level, I actually put a little window screen. And so they lay their eggs and the eggs fall below. And then the eggs turn into mealworms. And so we have all these mealworms here growing. The kind of thicker stuff is wheat bran. So that's what the mealworms eat. And I also put in celery and carrots and potatoes. But then this kind of sawdust looking stuff here at the bottom is called sass. And this is their poo, all of their stuff they secrete, which nothing is waste around here. So it's actually amazing for the soil. So amazing for chickens, amazing for the garden. The cycle of life continues with these beautiful mealworms. So let's give some to the chickens, huh? I'm trying to teach the chickens that this is a doorbell for when I have worms. They used to know the noise of the bag, but now there's no more bag. Come here. Worms for everybody. It's really great to have alternative food sources for the chickens. The mealworms, the peppers, the red amaranth.
Behind me these are sunflowers. We're trying to incorporate bees. We're trying to lure a swarm is what they call it. This is another aspect though that contributes to the chickens. There's a flower every 6 inches, and I got 165 feet. So that's over 300 flowers. At the end of harvest here, if I save them all, we should have 50 pounds or a couple 100 pounds of sunflowers. You just put that whole thing in the coop, they fight over it, they all get a lot of stuff. Plus we're feeding the bees, plus it's beautiful.
That's our rooster. He's a really, really good rooster. He takes care of his girls.
Roosters break up fights. So there's a top hen, right? There's an alpha, and then there's a hierarchy. They call it the pecking order.
He protects them, and when they're free ranging, if a hawk comes by, he'll make a certain call that tells them to all come back to the coop.
He'll come out and he'll find a snack, a bug, and he'll point to it and call for a girl, one of the hens, to come over and eat it. He's very generous. He really is a steward of the flock. It's kind of beautiful.
There's so many different things about how to check their health. One big thing is to check their feet.